Hi guys, I'm going to just quickly do a demonstration between the difference between a chip and a pitch. A lot of people get kind of confused. They ask me, when should I chip, when should I pitch? It's really quite simple, the difference to define. It's really quite simple, a way of defining the difference between the two shots. Now, I look at it simply. You can play a chip shot that still goes up in the air, and you can play a pitch shot that also goes up in the air, or you can play a chip shot that goes low, but there's two reasons why a shot is called the shot it's called. Okay, so when I play a chip shot, I make sure I hit the golf ball and then the leading edge of the golf club, so the leading edge of the club, which is this part here, okay, I make sure that strikes the ground. So I hit the golf club, I'll just come in here, so I hit the golf ball, my club comes down, hits golf ball goes away, and then the leading edge strikes the ground, and I've played a chip shot because I've used the leading edge of the golf club. Okay, so I've used the leading edge of the club, and that is a chip shot. So, to play this shot, I'll just make sure there's no one coming. To play this shot, I set myself up. I have the ball just left of centre, I have my hands forward, and I'm resting the leading edge of the club on the ground. Club comes back, come down, hit ball, leading edge takes a little divot, ball comes out low, could come out high, depends on which club I use, but I'm using the leading edge of the club, so I make that decision. I'm going to play this shot, I'm going to get it to run towards the hole. You're playing a chip shot, that is the choice of shot I've chosen. So I get myself lined up, there we go, leading edge on the ground. There we go, chip shot. Ball came out nice and low, took a little divot afterwards because the leading edge dug into the ground. Ball came out low towards the hole. Now, the other option I have here is, because I've got quite a bit of grass to go over, I could fly this, so that would be a pitch shot. So what defines the difference between the two? Chip shot we hit using the leading edge. When I play a pitch, I actually chunk it a little bit, so I set my club up in a manner that the back of the club, so that we're now using the back edge of the club here instead of the leading edge of the club. So I set the club, I open the club slightly so it sits on the back of the club, back edge. I then lower my hands just a fraction so it gets sitting even more on the back of the club. So then when I play this shot, the club comes down, 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 hits the ground, the back of the club hits the ground. The leading edge of the club goes underneath the equator of the ball goes up and away, and the leading edge of the club slides along the ground and up. So that's the difference between the two. It's either leading edge or back edge of the club, or flange of the club, whatever you want to call it. So as I say, I set myself up differently to make sure I can use the back of the club. So I set myself up in a position that ball position still left of centre, same. Open the face slightly, which makes it sit on its bum on the back edge. I then lower my hands, which encourages it to sit even more on the back of the club. I'll just quickly show you that again. So I open the face, so it's now sitting in the back. Get really closer. So open the face, lower my hands, so it's now sitting in the back. Club comes down, slides along that line away. Okay, so same shot. This time I see it as a pitch. So open the club, lower my hands. I'm going to have to swing harder here because the force I apply to the golf ball is now going upwards instead of forwards. So it's a longer swing. A lot riskier shot. Not my favourite. Okay, carried it too far. Got a little bit carried away with myself. Technique was great though. Executed it very well. Again, open face, lower hands. A bit better. Okay, a little bit better. So, very risky shot. I grew up in North Berwick, links golf, so I always try and run it. If I've got an option to run it, I will run it. This long shot, it's good as long as you set yourself up correctly and you trust your technique, it's fine. If something goes wrong, like the first one, because of the length of the swing, the damage is worse. So a bad chip shot is always better than a bad pitch shot. Just like a bad putt's always better than a bad chip. So if you can keep the ball running, get it running. That's the difference between the two shots. Chip and a pitch is either leading edge or back edge. I get to the ball, I assess the situation and go, right, okay, what am I going to do here? I'm going to chip. Immediately I think leading edge of the club, then I set myself up in that position, play my chip shot. That's the difference between the two, leading edge or back edge of the club. Guys, subscribe to my channel, links below. Comedy moment, cameras. Sorry about that, a little comedy moment there, the camera just blew over. It's blowing a gale here. I hope you can still hear me. So yeah, Steve Johnson PGA on YouTube. You can catch me on Facebook as well at Steve Johnson, and also on Twitter at Mr. Steve Johnson. Leave a comments below, let me know what you thought, and let me know how your golf's going on. Cheers, thanks, bye bye.